If you've been using the same writing tool for years and low-key feel like it's time for something new, same. After 5 years, I'm leaving Scrivener and setting up something new. Before I set up a profile in Ellipsus, let me tell you why I'm making the switch. If I am in an airport, in the back of an Uber, I've got some spare time in between errands, I am anywhere that is not at my desk, I need my laptop. Even small things like name ideas. Right now, I'm jotting everything down wherever I can. The Notes app on the iPhone, Google Keep. Y'all, I literally will text myself edits or ideas or name options for characters. I will leave myself on read until I can get to my laptop, open Scrivener, and implement the idea. The second reason why I'm leaving Scrivener is the co-writing capability. Scrivener to me is a solo instrument. I need a tool that invites collaboration. Scrivener is a fantastic platform for writers. Whether you're writing a novel or a screenplay, there's so much that you can do, so many capabilities, and so much functionality to the tool. But I do find when I want to collaborate with other writers, beta readers, when I want to get ideas, maybe chat with a co-author, I'm not able to do that inside of Scrivener. I'm using Word doc with review track changes or Google Docs with comments enabled. I need a platform that's going to allow me to work with others without having to open up a second resource app or platform to do so. Even though I have definitely cracked the storage conundrum, if you will, from Scrivener in terms of where I house my backups, Scrivener eats up your storage, period. I've been using Scrivener for 5 years. Places that I've been choosing to back up my work, Dropbox or even iCloud Drive, getting that notification telling me that I am out of storage. So I need a platform that's going to help with that. The reason why I'm leaving Scrivener is a fresh set of eyes. I've been using Scrivener since 2021. If you've just been looking at something for a long time or in the same space, a change of scenery, as they say, helps foster creativity, maybe makes you less stressed. Same idea applies here to my writing tools. I need a change of scenery. Now let's jump into Ellipsus and see what Ellipsus is all about. I really like this website. It's very clean. Looks like it's very easy to navigate. They got a blog. Look at the graphics. Whoever designed this website and drew these graphics, fantastic job. Let's see what else. If we scroll down, looks like they give you a preview. I think the gist here is you can access Ellipsus on your phone, tablet, or laptop, which is great. One of the big reasons why I wanted to switch away from Scrivener and try a different writing tool is because I feel like I can only use Scrivener when I have my Mac, which could be heavy sometimes. If I want to get Scrivener on my mobile, I have to buy the app again, like the platform again, which is quite inconvenient. So one of the reasons why I wanted to try Ellipsis is more access on the go to my stories, especially if I have notes, ideas, I can just jot them down quickly instead of collecting a bunch of notes in Google Keep and the Notes app and on paper, and then you lose things and you don't remember the last time right? Like it just gets so messy. Plenty of tools are made for memos, notes, and to-do lists. That's not us. Ellipsis is here to help you build worlds, wrench hearts, raise eyebrows, and celebrate creativity in all its forms. Very nice. One place for drafts and edits. The other reason I wanted to switch away from Scrivener is because I'm quite curious on the collaboration features and if the experience will be better than Scrivener, Google Docs, or Word Docs with track changes. So apparently you can collaborate with people, you can invite people to your doc, which is very Google Docs adjacent. But if you're both online at the same time, it looks like you can chat with each other. So I think that's pretty cool. Looks like if two different people are working in the same document, they even highlight it in different colors. I'll be quite curious if Ellipsis meets my needs. And if other co-writers, editors, lit agents, beta readers, alpha readers, anybody, I'm quite curious if they also have a good experience with Ellipsis to want to switch over from whatever it is that they were doing before too. What else? A principled alternative by writers for writers. We think writers should be free to express their creative vision away from aggressive censorship and the prying eyes of AI. Your content is yours, no generative AI ever.
cool. I do not want my words and stories to be a training ground for AI. And it sounds like they don't do that at all. I think there is a place for AI tools. I made a video a bit ago about how I used AI to create a writing schedule for myself, like a content schedule. So if I have a certain number of words and a certain time frame, build me a schedule. And I think AI is perfect for stuff like that. But in terms of like using my content to train AI, my preference is no, respectfully. So it sounds like they've really thought a bit about where they stand in that space, which I think is good. Trusted by 500,000 human writers, and you can sign up for free. Nice. I love this website. It's very, very clean, seamless. I think they put the right amount of previews to like pique your interest without overwhelming you with everything that their platform has to offer. I'm going to sign up. And because that is quite personal, I'm going to do that offline and then I will come back when that is done. Okay. So all you missed, in case you are literally signing up for Ellipsus with me in real time, is you create your username and your password and it takes you to the screen where you can choose your avatar, which is so cool. Obviously, I would want to stick with the T because that's very cute, very neutral. But let's see what other options they have. Love the pride representation, a light bulb, some sparkles. Is that a paper crane? That's pretty cool. Looks like there's painting can, burst, asterisks, whatever those things are, and then this. And it looks like you can add your own photo, which is pretty cool. Let's just do the T for right now. Do you write with others? How many of these can I select? I beta read for others. I share drafts for comments. I edit with others. And I mostly write solo. The only thing I don't do right now is co-write with others. So I'm not working on a project with another author at current moment, although that might be kind of cool. We're curious, where do you discover us? YouTube. Now to set the scene. Choose the right theme for you. Oh, you guys know I love a good theme, build up some aesthetics. Look at all the options there are for free. As the seasons change, these themes are something that I will be changing as well to match the vibe. As you all know, if you've been following me for a minute, I'm an aesthetic girl. Oh, the blue is pretty. I'm an aesthetic girly. My vibe right now is very much Capri, which is like a yellow and blue, the lemons, whatever. Looks like even if you want like dark mode platform, they have that. These themes are so pretty. You could definitely spend a significant amount of time either like changing your theme, setting your theme, updating your theme as somebody who finds value in the customization of things. The only issue, and this is not an Ellipsis thing, this is a Jordan thing, is I feel like I have too many options. And so I will spend probably more time than is required trying to pick a theme. All right, we just jump right into it, don't we? Tip 1 of 3, click new to import your work or create a new document. Great. My work, which is this, shows your documents in folders. Shared with me shows documents shared with you by other writers. We've left you more tips in this sample document. Awesome. Where do we want to start, you guys? This platform is completely free. Looks like down here, if I want to jump into Ellipsis Plus, I can try that for free for 7 days. I will probably go on their website and see if it's like a subscription-based platform or whatever, but let's see what we can get out of this for free. Write directly in your main document or use drafts. Okay, there's a sidebar on the right. Looks like there's like lots of options. What I really like about Scrivener is they have a side-by-side view. So a lot of times if I'm outlining or taking notes or whatever, I have a scene card. I like to have that on the right-hand side or left, whatever, like on one side. And then I like to have my draft on the other. And I'm curious, we can play around. I'm curious if this sidebar functions like that or if Ellipsis has that functionality. But it says there's tools, formatting, editing. Head back to your dashboard to find your writing or start something new. Now, before I continue with the Ellipsis tutorial, I did want to show you when I bought Scrivener way back when. I mean, I've had it for probably a decade at this point. I also bought, if you know Abby Emmons, she is a YouTuber and her channel is all about writing. And I also bought her masterclass for Scrivener. I just want to pause this because I'm conscious that this is paid and I want to be mindful. So one of the things that people complain about with Scrivener is they think it's really hard to use and the ramp up time and the learning curve and stuff is really high. I hear that about Notion too, to which I'll say, there are always people that have done a thing. And so for Notion, like there's templates you can use so that the page doesn't feel so blank when you open it. For Scrivener, I was like, why would I sit and click around and try and figure this out on my own when I know that somebody has already done it? So I ended up buying Abby's Scrivener Masterclass, and you can see it goes through for Mac and Windows. How do you set up your story, customize your space with themes? How do you back up your Scrivener files? She went into detail, and then there's like some bonus content at the bottom. So, what made Scrivener easier for me to use when I was a very, very beginner and trying to figure out the basics is this masterclass. And you saw it's 100% complete. I revisit this probably like once a year, just in case there's something I need a refresher on. I'm not sure if she still offers this on her website. I'm curious if Ellipsis. Oh, wow. Look at that cute little. Oh, this is a very wintry theme, you guys. We might need to change that. Back to the Ellipsis tutorial, short guide that covers important details. If you'd like to learn about using it on your phone, see your mobile guide. You can start writing in 3 ways: creating a new document, creating from a template, or importing something. Makes sense. You can create documents from your dashboard. You can access your work, view documents that have been shared with you. I love a good organization system. So, very excited that there's folders. I like that the platform seems to be searchable. That's great. I think this is where I could change the theme. Oh, cool. You can make a custom theme. Oh, y'all. And the fact that they've categorized the themes into these 1, 2, 3, these 4 is very nice. What are we thinking about? Let's try custard. Custard is very summery. I don't know. It's a little bright for me. This one says afterglow. That's also quite summery. This one says, ooh, maple is pretty. Does this feel summery or does this feel fall? Nature. Oh, nature is very nice. Good for winter. This one would be so good for winter. See, again, I've already gone through all of these themes. And so the fact that I'm literally getting it, oh, this one's so pretty too. I love all of these. Let's switch it to afterglow. Instead of snowflakes, there's these little bursts, which I'm cool with. It's light enough, but it's not bright white. Now that we've changed the theme, do you want to maybe create something new or create from a template? Let's create a new draft. So it looks like I can do it from the left-hand side. There's a button. Looks like there's also a plus. In the lower right-hand side, there's a button. I find that interesting that there's 3 different places, 2 of which are quite close to each other to do the same thing. The plus gives me that window. If I click create new draft, I also get that window. And if I click this button down here, I also get the same window. Maybe it's for a reason. So this looks like it's a folder. Sort, you can sort them. That's kind of nice. Name, probably when you created them and then when it was last edited. Can you rename your drafts folder? I guess I should have finished the tutorial before I started clicking around and doing things, huh? Okay. Right now you're looking at a main document. How do I get from this to this? That's not intuitive. Maybe we'll just go home. Okay, so it looks like Welcome to Ellipsis is like a folder, and I've created a draft in said folder, which I don't think is what I want to do. Let's create a second folder, if you will, just so we have a sense of how to get started. Do we want to import? Honestly, I think I probably will at some point import my current novel because I think it'll just be easier for me. I'd be curious if the comments and track changes appear in Ellipsis when you import something. So that'll be something I can test. Blank document or from template. Let's try from template because, again, somebody's done something before. It's new to you for sure. And you may be a beginner, just like me. And there's somebody out there that's not a beginner. And typically they want to help the rest of us. There's a template or a tutorial or a video or a blog, something that you can find to make your learning curve more easeful. There's a world building planning template, which is pretty cool. Actually, there's multiple. If any of you have used Ellipsis before, leave a comment down below. I'm curious if you have a favorite template because there's a lot. Similarly to how I was feeling about the themes, I could spend so much time literally just in this. There's a canon divergence template. Like, what the heck is that? Emotional wound template, character arc planning template. I wish you could like hover over these and it would give you a preview of what it is as opposed to, oh, y'all, this is why we're doing things in real time together. Preview template. Let's see how this works. So it looks like if I want to preview them, I have to preview them individually, which I find interesting. Start from the beginning. This is a scene builder. Let's try scene builder template. At the preview, there's lots of prompts, which is nice. I have to say, is it UX, user experience? Whoever designed Ellipsus, they're very artistic. So that's what the scene builder template looks like. It's not what I thought it was going to be. The story opener template. Okay, that's kind of nice. You get like an opening scene checklist. So as you're writing your opening image, it looks like you can really set the stage and do some planning literally for that single scene. So that could be helpful. Let's look at a couple more and then we can jump back into Ellipsis platform. I find it curious that a lot of these templates are almost like prompts. So the templates have a lot of guiding questions for you as opposed to like, there is a scene card on this page that like I can fill in and reuse and stuff like that, as opposed to fleshing out my thoughts on a particular topic using the prompts and the questions that they have. But I think this is pretty cool. I'm actually exploring a different way to develop characters outside of the internal wound and trying to figure out stakes, like make sure that my stakes are high internally and externally. So I think this is a good checklist for sure. If we go back to the preview, character art, you can check that out. Character basics. So like attributes like this I already have in my Notion. Majority of my characters in the type of books that I write have a positive arc structure. If it's a villain origin or a character that I want to have to come to their flaws or whatever, we could draft a negative arc. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. You can track by character what their journey looks like. And then it says by the story's end what has changed about them and have their goals or beliefs evolved, which I would want that to be yes every single time. Let's check out the canon divergence one, y'all. There's a fandom ship template. Okay. And actually, it tells you the character sheet template is a great companion to developing rich characters within this template. Takes you to 30 plus aspects to consider. Let's open it up because I find the naming to be quite intriguing. Okay, here's the fandom. Is this pre-canon, post-canon? Core tropes. Looks like there's a hyperlink to other info, more prompt questions. You can outline events that happen or happen differently, consequences, and canon echoes. Love that. Any world adjustments you need to make. This does refer to an OC character sheet. So this is the kind of like stats I'll say that I have already in Notion. I might do a quick like side by side to see if there's any questions here that I should consider. Love that they have the personality type as a line item. So there are certain things that I might come in here and just cross-reference, cross-check. Pet peeves is a good one. What do they admire in others? It helps to get into the mind of your character when you have a profile or a template like this, even if you don't complete every single one of the features. This is insane. I have never seen this level of detail before for characters. I'd rather a platform give me more than less because then I can choose what to opt out of as opposed to like, oh man, I'm missing something. Also, I love that they have a little percentage and time completion. And if this bar slowly fills to the right as you scroll through the template, I would probably spend a bit of time in the actual temp. For now, oh, wow. They even have project. See, we could spend so much time in Ellipsis, y'all. I think this is super cool. Milestones for your project, different check-ins, reflection prompts, writing wins. That's awesome. Let us exit out of the template preview. I do love that you can navigate on the side with this menu and look at how many templates they have that are available. That's wild. Let's do story opener. It pops up just like the preview. There's a side menu. All of these things are clickable. I'm going to say book one, but she currently does not title. Joan Fantasy. I do appreciate that before your opening scene, they give you these options. Establish who the story is about. This is my MC. Establish where and when. She lives, I'm debating on the spelling, but she lives in the kingdom of Ellesmere. In earlier drafts, I spell it Ellesmere, but I keep mixing up where I want the E and the S. And so I was like, this feels better. And then also I could take these out and just go with that. Or If I want to be cool, I could also be like that. And that looks very fantasy to me, the spelling. Introduce conflict, hint at the story's central theme. What's your opening sentence? Does it make your reader ask a question? These are great questions. This is a good like post scene checklist, or I have a feeling I might use it when I'm drafting. You can change your formatting, your text. You can highlight stuff so you can dump in images, it looks like. Block quote, add dividers. Some of these formatting things are very Notion adjacent, which I like. Looks like there's also a menu on the side here. They have a lot of cute fonts, I could tell already. Oh, it looks like somebody wrote it. That's awesome. Change the size easily, change the color. So I think you could definitely play around with that. It's interesting that there is a pages layout, which looks like this. More borders on the sides, and there is a page list layout, which just fills this entire screen. What else? Looks like there's a word count, which I know, a timer, a focus mode, and notification. Focus mode. Focus mode is nice. I don't love that, like, it does not fill your screen, if that makes sense, in focus mode, which I understand. But then it's like, I kind of want this to be an image or something. You can do that in Scrivener in their focus mode, and I think it's pretty great. Looks like there's an outline on the side, so that's pretty cool. So you can navigate in the document using the outline, exit focus. If I want to start a writing sprint, it looks like I can. To go back to the home page, we're going to go back home to my work. And now it looks like the template that I created is its own block on my board, if you will. And then where we were before with the tutorial, and then I created a draft apparently in this. I'm like clicking it and I don't think it's editable. That's interesting. So drafts is really your version control. Drafts is like your snapshots in Scrivener. So let's delete that. I guess I should have read it before I created it. Every one of these should have then a draft feature, draft capability. Sometimes I do jump ahead and then realize I probably should have just read it's like when you build something, you're like, I just want to do it. And you think you know where all the pieces go, but you probably just should have read the thing in the flat box. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about Ellipsus.
Now that we've created our profiles together, picked cute themes, and explored the platform, I wanted to talk about some more of the key differences between Scrivener and Ellipsus. On Scrivener, I have the desktop app for Mac. There is also a mobile app that exists, and Ellipsus is browser-based. In terms of the mobile app specifically, I bought the Scrivener app for desktop, and if I want to also have the app on my iPhone, I would have to buy that as well as a separate purchase. On Ellipsus, you can use any internet browser, mobile, iPad, computer, and your capabilities are the same. You don't have to pay for an extra app. I did some light digging in terms of costs and licensing, so I'm sure there's some more details out there. But on Scrivener, I did a one-time license. I paid about $60 for the app minus this discount code. And if I wanted to get the iPhone app, it would cost about $24. Ellipsus, as you know, we are using the free version right now. It looks like they have a plus option that would either cost $6 per month, $60 per year, or I think that there is a 99, I guess it's annual also. But if you pay the $100, you would actually own Ellipsus after 2 years. Again, more details out there. Check out their website. This is what the cost and licensing structure looks like for both of them. In terms of learning curve, like I said, Scrivener is high. Even with the tutorial and the masterclass that I purchased in order to skip ahead, if you will, on some of the learning curve, I think that the awesome thing about Scrivener is that it is so customizable. Because of that, it can take a while to learn how to do everything that you want to do and what the features are and how to build and tailor Scrivener to your needs. I did spend some time actually reading the tutorial offline after I created my profile, and I will say the learning curve feels low. There's literally like 3 categories of things that they talk about that you can do in Ellipsis, and then you're free to fly from the nest and start drafting and collaborating. And that tutorial is a tab in the platform. Now, I haven't been on Scrivener in a while, but if memory serves, I do think that there's a tutorial pop-up something or other for Scrivener as well. Don't quote me. But macro level, I find Scrivener to be a high learning curve and Ellipsus to be low. In terms of nesting and folders, which I really miss already, Scrivener is a type A girly's dream. You can have folders within folders within folders, pages within those folders. You can organize Scrivener in whatever way makes sense for you, and I love it. If I want to also nest folders in Ellipsis, I would have to get the Plus upgrade. As it stands now, because we're just diving in, I'm going to stick with the free version a little bit longer and see if it drives me crazy to have 30 chapters as individual documents. In terms of templates for writers, and Scrivener does have templates for screenplays as well, I just check marks all around. There's templates on Scrivener and there's templates on Ellipsis. Ellipsis just has more check marks because as we were going through the entire catalog, I just feel like they might have a little bit more, but I haven't really explored enough to have a solid opinion. Outline and navigation, there is no in-document outline in Scrivener versus as we saw with the outline feature in Ellipsis, you can literally click the headings and kind of jump between sections. It's very Google Doc adjacent when you make headers there. Notion has a similar capability with the table of contents feature. One of the things that I really miss from Scrivener already after day one is the side-by-side comparison view in Scrivener. If you've got a scene card, if you've been doing a lot of research and you want to have whatever it is next to your draft while you're writing a new chapter or revising, you can. And what I like about Scrivener is it's not just side-by-side horizontally, I'll call it, but you can also do a side-by-side vertical view. I think that especially when you're doing a fast draft, a zero draft, a first draft, having your notes, your ideas, your character profile, having that stuff literally in front of your face right next to the chapter that you're writing, priceless. And you can't do that in Ellipsis right now. If I could upvote any feature or functionality for Ellipsis, this is absolutely the capability that I would vote for. You cannot collaborate in Scrivener. She is a solo artist, and Ellipsis is a duet. So you have the capability to collaborate with people, and there's even a chat feature. Cloud storage, Scrivener, in my opinion, eats up your storage space. Ellipsis, it's cloud native. You're not worried about backup management. Everything is already there without taking up storage space on your actual Drive or iCloud or Dropbox or whatever. Capturing ideas on the go. For me, because I have the app for Mac, I need my laptop for Scrivener. Because I can open up Ellipsis in Chrome or Safari or any web browser, I can access Ellipsis on my phone, laptop, iPad, whatever it is, when I'm at the library. It is accessible and I can capture as many ideas as I want when I'm away from my computer. For organization, Scrivener has a lot of options. There's different capabilities. There's like an info menu on the right-hand side. You can expand and you can add notes there. There's a corkboard view. I think that Scrivener is organized if you tailor it to be so. However, it can feel quite scattered because there's just a lot of places for you to be able to put all of your notes and research and stuff like that. Ellipsis, at least from the brief tutorial that we walked through, it looks like there's one adjacent page within the project, and that's where you can kind of get organized and put your notes and stuff like that. But we'll see if I learn anything new as we go. World building and planning, this is not a competition, but if I were to award the gold medal for world building and planning, I would give it to Scrivener. Again, I know that the Scrivener learning curve is high, but if you are somebody, if you are writing a fantasy, if you are like, I don't know, writing a movie and you need strong support for your world building and your planning, Scrivener is where it's at. It is so robust. I love the corkboard feature. You can nest things within other things. You can view all your stuff together. I think just when you're trying to put all of the elements of your story together, Scrivener supports that in a way that doesn't make me feel like it's overstructured or I can't color outside the lines, if you will. And right now, I feel like Ellipsis is still developing that. In terms of having a point of view on artificial intelligence, Scrivener, I did not do any research digging on the internet whatsoever, so bear with me because they might have a stance. But NA, as far as I know at this point in time, Ellipsus, as you saw right on their website, they are explicitly pro-human. And if you have the plus feature with them, they also include an emboss tool. Creativity Spark is another category I wanted to compare. The asterisk being, this is a very personal category. So we talked about getting a change of scenery, fresh set of eyes. I do feel like after using Scrivener for 5 years, I kind of just, it all blends together, and Ellipsis is my change of scenery. Finally, support and resources. There is so much content out there on Scrivener. It is probably, I don't know, again, didn't do research, don't quote me, but it's probably one of the top used writing tools out there. It's been around for forever. There's a bunch of YouTube videos, there's detailed tutorials, there's blog posts, they've got a whole website, they do webinars. Like, there is so much support out there for Scrivener. So far, what I'm finding with Ellipsis is that there's a lot fewer YouTube videos out there, there's a lot of shorts out there, but I think the platform is relatively new, and so there's not as much content out there about it. After 5 years, I'm making the switch away from Scrivener. It feels kind of epic. There was a point in time where Scrivener met all of my needs, and it was perfect for me and where I was at in my author journey, in my writing journey. Now I feel like I'm in a different season where I'm overhauling my magic system. I've added like 6 characters to the roster. I'm reimagining my hero's journey and deciding what pieces of my story actually belong in book 1 as I set up for a sequel. So Scrivener may not be the right tool for me for this season. I cannot speak more highly enough about the tool, its world building capabilities. It's a great place to house your research, and it keeps everything organized with metadata, and I cannot say enough good things about the side-by-side screen feature. I've spent the last few weeks building a brand new Notion dashboard for my writing life as another tool that I can add to the arsenal. Moving forward, using Notion and Ellipsis, I'm gonna see if those 2 tools meet my needs, and if not, I own Scrivener, and I can always jump back into it at any point in time. If you're part of the authortube community, or just a writer trying to find your people, you're in the right place. On this channel, I talk about hobbies, productivity, everyday systems, and more to help you build a life you don't need a vacation from. Like this video and share with a writer friend who might need a gentle nudge to try something new. Until next time, keep it cozy.